In this lecture, we are talking about comparative politics. Students, we want to understand what this subfield of political science is all about. And it may interest you to know that this is one of the very popular subfields in the discipline. And you will soon find out the reason for this trend. So let's take a look at comparative politics. Now, at the beginning of the semester, we talked about the different types of subfields that makes the discipline very, very attractive and makes it very versatile. And you will see now that comparative politics adds to the versatility of the discipline. So let's dive in right away and look at the definition and look at what it is. Comparative politics is a subfield of political science, right? So it's an area of political science that focuses on the study and analysis. Two things happening here, students: study and analysis. You don't study is one thing. You can study something and just walk away, but you can study that same thing and analyze it for what it is, right? So it's the study and analysis of political systems. Now the question is, what are political systems? Now we talked about political systems in the fourth week of the semester, and we talked about different systems that are out there today that have been practiced and in place, and some of them have been there for centuries, etc. So let's take a look at a few of those for our understanding and to make sure that we put this subfield of comparative politics in perspective, right? So when we talk about political systems, students, we are talking about systems of governance. Systems of governance at the different level of government. Now, we talked about the different levels of government, I believe in the sixth week of the semester. We talked about the municipal government, for example, or local government in some areas, but the lowest form of governance. And this is the level that is closest to the people because they deal directly with the people. So the municipal or local government, the provincial or state government, regional government, as well as national government, right? So, and all of these levels of government have systems of governance. And we looked at those in the sixth week to understand what systems of governance are, and more importantly, their impact and how they are formed and their impact on their citizens, right? So democracy is a system of government. And it's a broad concept, democracy that is. It's a broad concept, but nevertheless, a system of government that suggests the people choose their leaders. So do we remember the definition of democracy, the government by the people for the people? The people choose their leaders and determine who leads them for a period of time. And that mandate is renewed after 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, whatever the case may be. It's renewed, and sometimes, a government has just a certain period of time to be in power, right? So systems of government, democracy is an example. Let's put that here. And then under democracy, you have subsystems of government like the presidential, right? Presidential system of government as practiced in countries around the world. Countries that have a president typically have presidential systems of government, like the United States, for example. We have Nigeria, for example, South Africa, for example, France, for example, they have presidents, right? So presidential system of government. You have the Westminster. Let's put that here. Parliamentary system of government. Right, this is parliamentary system of government. For example, the UK, parliamentary system of government, Canada, parliamentary system of government, the Australia, parliamentary system of government. Then you have other forms of government as well, right? Political systems, we are calling them forms of government as well, is the same thing. We have theocracy, right? What is theocracy, student? Religious leaders that are governing a country. You have monarchy, right? Monarchy, and we have a few countries around the world that are governed by monarchs, and the monarch is the absolute authority in those countries. So we have monarchy, theocracy. We also have military, right? These are all systems of government, etc. And then, of course, we have more of those out there. So comparative politics, students, then studies and analyzes political systems of governance. They analyze institutions within those systems. What are institutions? We talk about parliament, we talk about the presidency, we talk about the judiciary and so forth. processes of election, for example, processes of lawmaking, for example, processes of holding government accountable, political behaviors of the citizens across different countries. Now, this is the important part of comparative politics. It is comparative on a global level, but it can be comparative at the local level as well, at the state level as well, at the national level as well. You can compare two states that have different systems of government within a federation. It's quite possible. They have different system of government in terms of their parliament, in terms of their executive, in terms of the mandates and so forth, the term limits, etc. Right. So it is a study and analysis of political systems, institutions, processes, and behaviors across different countries, and that's the beauty of comparative politics. It is transnational. Please take note of these, students. It seeks to understand, right? Very important. It seeks to understand the similarities and differences between political entities, systems, right? Examining how various factors such as culture, which is very important, culture informs political systems, history, economics, and social structures, just to mention a few. We can put religion here as well, right? Religion impacts systems of governance, right? Religion impacts systems of governance. So a country can base its system of governance on its religion, on the religion of the people, right? So the religion informs government policies, government strategies, how government interacts with the people and interacts with the neighbors and international community and so forth. Social structures, the history and the culture and the geography in some cases determines what type of governance structure is in place, right? So it tries to understand the impact of these factors, right? Examining how various factors such as culture, history, economics, and social structures impact governance and political outcome. We can also put here impact citizens as well, right? We can also put here how do these factors impact the citizens, impact their behavior, etc. Very important point here, students. I want to take note of this, right? So let's take a look at this again one more time. Comparative politics is a subfield of political science that focuses on the study and analysis of political systems. We have outlined some of those systems here across different countries. It seeks to understand the similarities, how similar and how different they are. And why is that important? Let's take a look at that for a minute. Why is that important? It determines strengths, right? The strengths of political systems, the weaknesses of political systems, very important, right? So that governments can make changes, they can consolidate. Sustainability as well. How sustainable is this political system? Is it too expensive? Is not the right governance structure for that country? Or is not the right governance system for that country? Is it sustainable? What are the weaknesses? What are the strengths? All of this is very important. Is it flexible in terms of the people and laws and regulations and so forth? It's important to understand those things, right? So the study and analysis of political systems, institutions, judiciary, the executive, the legislature, even political parties, institutions, processes, election, for example, holding political leaders accountable, for example, what processes are there, for example, the legal system, etc., and behaviors, political behaviors of citizens across different countries, and it seeks to understand the similarities and differences between political entities, examining how these important factors, students, once again, factors such as culture, history, economics, social structures, religion, we can put that in there, politics, we can put that in there as well, impact the political system of that country. So this is comparative politics, a very influential subfield of political science that allows us to understand the differences in political systems, allows us to understand, one more point here, students, the efficiency, right? So let's put that here, efficiency. This is efficiency, right, of the political system, and effectiveness as well. Let's put that here, effectiveness of the system. All of these are very important to know and understand so that government can make modifications, can strengthen their political systems. They can ensure that they have a system that is governing the people properly, a system that is productive, and a system that is not oppressive. So this is comparative politics.